Never been on this railway, and I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be a great journey.
The line runs for 120 miles from Swansea to Shrewsbury. I'm catching the train in Llandeilo and plan to hop off to explore along the way until I get to Knighton on the border between Wales and England. When I said I was waiting for a train, it'll be a long wait. There are only 4 trains a day, so I've got time to kill before I leave Llandeilo. Now this splendid pile on the edge of town is Dynevor Park, and just beside it the 13th century castle. You couldn't imagine a more peaceful place to begin a great journey, but it wasn't always so. Archaeologists digging here have discovered that 1,000 years before the castle was built, the locals were giving the conquering Romans some serious headaches.
We commissioned Gwilym and his team to undertake a geophysical survey, one of those surveys where you can go across the ground and look for magnetic anomalies without disturbing anything. And we were very fortunate in they found the corner of the fort. And because Roman forts are the same, whether they're built in Carmarthen or Carmarthenshire or Jordan.
They're just like wimpy homes.
Exactly,
we
knew what it was.
Thing everywhere.
We knew exactly what immediately the little corner came up, we knew what we had found, and they expanded it out. And lo and behold, we had 2 forts, not 1.
Historians used to think that people living here didn't put up much of a fight when the Romans rolled up. Now it's time to go back to the drawing board, so they're rewriting the story of the Romans in Llandeilo.
We always knew that the guys down in southeast Wales, the Silures, and the ones in north and mid Wales, the Ordovishis, we knew they put up a strong resistance. That's the tradition of Caradog, Caraticus and so on tells us that, especially the great historian Tacitus tells us that. We knew very little about how the people here responded. Now we are finding that story.
Do you know what you're looking for?
We know what we found.
We found it, yeah.
This is one of the ditches that was the defensive barriers on the original first major fortress that was later overlaid by the smaller, newer one.
But unfortunately, in this whole spit here, all we found was 1 piece of flint. That was it.
So far.
So far.
But down at the bottom of the ditch is where things rolled to, isn't it? And we're not there yet.
As well as using brute force, the Romans colonised Wales by winning hearts and minds. And of course, where there were Romans, there was a few bob to be made.
Outside the entrance to the garrison fort, the later of the 2 forts, a small village grew up, a small village of native Britons, the local Celtic tribespeople, providing services to the well-paid Roman soldiers who were based inside the fort. But what's interesting about that is it tells us something about the nature of Romanisation, how they adapted to the Roman way of life. For example, they didn't use pottery in this part of Wales before the Romans arrived. Now they're using it for everything. They're using it for cooking, for storage, they're even using it for burying their dead in. So clearly these people were changing their whole way of life and adopting Roman material culture. But they always hang on to their British or Welsh past as well, so they keep the language. That's one of the interesting things, I think, about the nature of the Roman occupation, is that what traits do they adopt and what do they keep and what are they allowed to keep by the Romans.